Hi, I'm Maria, and today I'm going to be taking you through my setup for my 2026 reading journal. This is my second year in a row having a dedicated reading journal. My first one was last year, although I've been journaling for many years before that. I really enjoyed having a reading journal, and it really prompted me to read more, so I'm carrying it on this year. The theme for my journal this year is Defeat the dragon being my TBR. It's got a lot of fantasy inspired spreads and imagery, and I've also tried to gamify my reading journal experience this year. So kind of inspired by role-playing video games. So I've added some like unique elements throughout, which I'll explain when we get there, but I feel that they are quite unique and will hopefully even bolster my reading even more. So just a note about the supplies. My journal this year is a Maple Moon notebook therapy journal in the A5 size, and it's dotted inside. I had the whimsical botanical notebook from Notebook Therapy last year, really enjoyed it, and I felt it was really good quality. Hence why I've gone with another reading journal by them. I will be doing a flip through of my 2025 reading journal, so look out for that. Just a note on supplies. I will try and link things below where I can, and I can still find links for them, but I have been journaling for many years, so some things will simply just be impossible for me to know A, where I got them, and B, still find them online. But where I can, I will link stuff. And yeah, so without much further ado, welcome to my reading journal. So the first spread here is just the opening pages. Because I'm kind of going like really inspired by role-playing games, this is going to be like my player character throughout. I don't look anything like this, but you know, just to add some fun to it. I've got this washi tape, this castle washi tape from CoraCreaCrafts, and the image here is also from their shop, and so are these stickers, which you will see throughout the journal. The washi tapes here, which I've used liberally throughout, are from the works, and the decorative stamps here are also, these big decorative pieces are also from CoraCreaCrafts, and the smaller stamps are just from Amazon, but I will link them below. So we shall venture forth into my reading journal. So the opening spread is kind of what defined the whole reading journal for me. I knew before I even bought this notebook, I knew that they wanted there to be a sword in the stone on the first page. And the whole theme, the fantasy dragon theme, kind of expanded from that. As you can imagine, the myths of Camelot and Arthur. There's not much to say about this page, but I really like the colours and how they came out, and it's kind of pulled through into the rest of the journal. And hopefully you can see the myth and adventure theme from the start. Moving on, because the theme is Defeat the Dragon, I thought it'd be fun just to have as a filler page, like a flyer that you might find in a fantasy town saying that there's a reward for defeating the dragon. And here on the right hand side, we can see my main quests for this journal, which is just my reading challenges for the year. And you can see that my main reading goals for the year are to read 25 books, 15,000 pages, finish 3 series, and put down my TBR by 30%. Reading 25 books was also my goal last year, and I managed to surpass that. I read 32 books, but I didn't really want to up the reading challenge more than that, because I expect this is going to be a really busy year for me, and I don't want to be stressed out about something that is supposed to be enjoyable. So I've kept it at that. I nearly read 15,000 pages last year. I just went shy of it. So I want to see if I can really get up to that level this year again. Finish 3 series. I am in a lot of fantasy series, and I would really love to finish some of them at some point. And put down my TBR. I have a behemoth of a physical TBR, and I'd really like to get that down either by reading books or unhauling the books that I know that I'm never going to read. And here we have the quest map. So this is the kind of shows the adventuring RPG element to my my reading journal this year. Usually at this point people have the bookshelf spread, so where you see where you have like the bookshelves of books that people have read. And in my previous reading journal, I did have that, but I felt that I wasn't really getting much use out of it and it wasn't really giving me enjoyment. So this year I've created this quest map and this reading tracker where I will, as I read books, I go and traverse this fantasy world that I've created. And what I also plan to do is that the theme of each of my monthly spreads, I'm hoping to draw the theme from where I am physically in this map. So say here, when I reach 7 books and I'm like at the Dead Man's Hang, I'm gonna have like imagery of like cliff sides and water and things splashing on rocks, and like just draw from where I am in this fantasy world as my theme for the month. I am really happy with how this map turned out. I'm not an artist by any stretch of the imagination, but I'm still proud of how it came out, and I'm hoping to have a lot of fun with this spread this year. Carrying on with the fantasy quest theme, we've got my quest log, and this is just what the tracker for what books did I read. So we've got title, the number of stars I gave it, the number of pages it was, the date I finished it, and also the experience gained. So like I said, I want to gamify my experience, my reading experience this year. So from reading books, I will be able to gain experience points that will help me defeat the dragon at the end of the year. And hopefully I will gain enough experience, my character will, to be able to defeat the dragon at the end of the year. This is a Dutch door. I don't foresee myself reading nearly enough books to fill it out, but you never know. It could be a really great reading year for me, so better be safe than sorry. So this is the Adventurers Guild page. Because I wanted to have like an RPG quest style reading journal this year, I wanted to have some way of like gaining companions, because as we know, all great fantasy heroes need companions to go on their quest with them. And I was thinking, how can I like integrate this into my reading journal? And at first I thought, okay, maybe as I reach certain points in the map, I can then gain a companion from that. But then I was like, oh, it's not the most exciting thing ever. So I thought, let's create this Adventurers Guild where we go into and we can recruit companions. And basically what I've created is what is essentially a book bingo. So we have here 5 characters that we can recruit into our party. And to recruit these characters, each of the characters has 5 tasks associated with them, which are just reading prompts and the prompts are trying to get me to read more diversely, such as reading books by authors of different backgrounds or different genres of books, and other different style tasks, just like you would find in a regular book bingo. So once I've completed, so how this would work, how I would recruit companions, is once I've completed 2 of the tasks that are associated with a particular character, they then get recruited into my party. And when they're recruited into my party, it unlocks a special skill. For instance, this druid character, when I first get her, when I first managed to recruit her into my party by completing 2 of her tasks, books that I read with pets get a 2x XP boost. So books like Dungeon Crawler Carl with Princess Donut would get a 2x experience point boost for reading them once I've got this character. And if I manage to complete all the prompts of the particular character, they unlock a second special skill. So for the druid character again, books with nature magic get a 2x XP boost. So you can kind of see where that XP from before kind of feeds into it. So I've got 5 different characters. We've got a druid character, a wizard character, a barbarian character, a paladin, and a bard. Hopefully you can see that. And yeah, they all have different props to help me read more diversely. And I just, they're quite silly, but the special skills they have are not serious at all. But I'm hoping it will help, you know, really inspire me to pick up a wide variety of books. What I've also got on this side here is some side quests. So imagine you're in an adventurers guild, and on the board they've just got some side quests tacked on, and these are just other goals that I want to work through in the year, but they're not really my main goals for the year, but they would be still nice to achieve. So yeah, I hope this is like I feel that this was quite a unique way of doing the book bingo. It literally came to me in a dream, and I'm really quite proud of it. Moving on, we have the available quests page. As you can see, I've got the fantasy theme running throughout that. And here is just my physical TBR, which is quite significant. I really like how this page turned out. The colours are quite beautiful, I feel. And yeah, the aim is trying to get this TBR down as much as I can this year. I'm really focusing on trying to read books that I already owned. Linked to one of my main quests, I've got my ongoing quest page, which is just my series tracker. As you can see, I'm in the middle of quite a few series, and I really hope to dedicate my time and actually finishing the series this year, or at least as many as I can. In my journal last year, I only had one page for the series tracker, but I felt that was so cramped, so I've just allowed myself space to spread, because I really do enjoy reading fantasy series, so I've just given myself plenty of room. This page here is my quest progress, and here you can see the dragon that I am trying to defeat. I've randomly allocated it 1,000 experience points. If I find that this is too much or too little, I might amend that slightly after a couple of months to see how easy it is to gain experience points. But basically, by reading throughout the year, I hope to gain enough experience points to defeat this dragon. And so the experience sources, the sources of experience rather, are primarily, like I said, by reading books. So books under 400 pages get 10 experience points. Books with pages between 400 and 800 pages get 15 experience points. And books over 800 pages get 20 experience points. But there's also other ways of getting experience points. For instance, finishing a series will get 50. Completing one of my main quests or reading goals of the year will get 100. And completing a companion quest, so the ones that recruit the companions, get a 10 experience points boost. And completing a side quest get 20 experience points. So hopefully now you can see how recruiting the companion characters will help with that, because their special skills will allow the books I read to get a experience boost to make it more likely for me to defeat the dragon by the end of the year. And yeah, like I said, you know, the druid has books with pets get a XP boost, but like the paladin has books with talking weapons get a 2x XP boost. So they're not really serious in any sense of the word, but I just wanted to have fun with it. So yeah, that's the dragon page, so I'm going to keep track of it as I go on throughout the year. I've also got a more traditional monthly stats tracker, so we've got the number of books I read, number of pages I read, the number of books I bought, which will hopefully be none, hopefully, and the experience points that I gained from that month from the books that I read and the quests that I finished. Moving on, we've got my priority quests, which is just my priority TBR. These are the books that I've really been wanting to read and been really interested in reading, so hopefully I'll get to them this year, fingers crossed. On the next page, we've got the On the Horizon page, which is basically my attempt to merge both book recommendations and also anticipated releases, because I didn't really use them separately last year, so I just thought one page to merge both, and just keep track of the things that I'd want to read but maybe are not a high priority. Okay, so that was the last page of my reading related pages, but like last year I wanted to incorporate some of my other hobbies, so I've got some pages that are not reading related but still hobby related. So the first page here is the rec room, which is basically my TV show tracker. So I've got here the title of the TV show and the seasons that I've watched. I'm planning, so the ones that are in like black are ones that I've watched in previous years, and I'm planning on using colours to denote the ones that I've watched this year. On the other side, I've got the training hall, which is just the games that I've played, because I also obviously enjoy playing video games. Last year I had, on this page, I had a list of the games that I played and the hours that I played them, but I felt that that was a really hard thing. Like, it's really hard to quantify how long you play a game. So instead, I have, especially if you played it in previous years, so instead I have decided that I'm just going to stick in stills or like the cover art of games that I've played, just to have like a collection of what I've played, but not really having anything that would be too difficult to quantify. Turning over the page, we've got the crafting table. I really love all sorts of manner of arts and crafts, such as crochet and embroidery. So I've just put this here to stick in pictures of any crafty things that I get up to in the year. And on the final page of this setup, we've got Epics Beheld. I really love the theatre and musicals. So here is where I'm going to track what shows I get to see, which theatre that I saw them in, and the date that I saw them. So this was my reading journal setup for 2026. I'm really excited about this year. I feel like the gamified elements of it will really prompt me to have more fun with my reading and be really committed to achieving my quests that I have. Let me know in the comments below, what are the books that you want to read this year? What are your reading goals? And yeah, hopefully I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.